Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to take all these lovely Warhammer sprues that you guys are sending in to me, the kind of thing that obviously you don't need or you throw in a bin or sit in a drawer for ages. So I'm going to take them, turn them into the good old ooey gooey sprue stuff, otherwise known as sprue goo, and then from that I'm then going to make these Necromunda floor tiles. Not too shabby, eh? So this is a great way of recycling and obviously making something for free. Yeah, and I'm pleased with how they come out. Obviously just gave them a little bit of a black paint and then a bit of dry brushing with copper, and would look great in any Necromunda underhive. So let's get about seeing how we make this. As I wanted to make lots of tiles, the first thing we need to do is work out how we're going to make the mould. So I'm using this stuff, and it goes by the name of Oyumaru or blue stuff. And the great thing about this stuff is it's cheaper than silicone rubber, and it can be used again and again and again. And all we have to do is place it in some boiling hot water, let it float around in there for about 10-20 seconds. Obviously flatten it out, squish it around, keep putting it in, and yeah, once it's nice and soft and you get it to roughly the kind of size, shape you want to then mould round your piece. And this is a piece that I 3D printed out. Obviously you can use whatever you want, you can make something, scratch bash it, or whatever basically. So this is a piece I just 3D printed out on my Anycubic Photon Mono. And the main thing here is to really push this deep into whatever piece you're trying to mould, and to try and do it fairly quickly, because obviously this stuff starts to harden fairly soon. You've got a little bit of time, but yeah, the best bit is to get it in there, start pushing it down and really force it into all the nooks and crannies on the piece that you want to cast. And then once you've done that, you've only got to leave this about 20 minutes, half an hour say, and then it goes rock hard. Awesome. And yeah, it peels off nice and easy, and look at that. A great impression is left in it, which is pretty cool. And so the fact that you can reuse this again and again and again just makes this so great for making something and then reusing it to make something else. So we're going to cast this with a sprue goo, and for anyone who hasn't seen my previous videos on obviously how you make the sprue goo, nice and simple. Get a jar, get some acetone, fill the jar halfway up with acetone, and get your sprues, chop them up, nibbly knobbly bits, and then chuck them in. And the great thing with this is you can just keep reusing this as much as you want. So when it runs out of sprues, chuck them in. When it runs out of acetone, put more of that in. So you get one jar and it will last you forever. So leave it for a good 8 hours and then it all dissolves into the sprue goo, which we can then just carefully spoon out, put inside our mould, and then obviously using the glove we can then just push it in to all the nooks and crannies. And the great stuff with this is, I say, it really is nice and soft. It's kind of like a very runny plasticine. So you've got plenty of time to work with this, and I say, you just keep going round, pushing it in, making sure you do get it nicely in all the areas. Again, this stuff can be used for nice simple moulds. Certain complex moulds, I don't think sprue goo would work. But I am going to keep trying different moulds. When you guys suggest what you'd like to see me mould, put it in the comments, and then one day I'll have a go at doing it. So while we leave this to firm up, I'm going to throw in one of my own adverts. If you play tabletop games, then you're going to have loads of these. That's right, dice. And these lovely things come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. From plastic ones, to metal ones, to gold ones, and to huge ones. All the ones I use can be bought from Easy Roller Dice, link in the description. But don't you just hate it when this happens? Too many dice innocently go off the edge of the table and under the sofa. If this has happened to you, then you need my face on a dice tray. So whether you're rolling just the one die, or several dice, or if you play a game where you use tons of dice, then you need to be rolling them on my face. So check out Easy Roller Dice, where you can find this great dice tray, all these varieties of dice, and use my code MINI15 to get 15% off your order. And who knows, rolling your dice on my face might give you that lucky roll. Click on the link below when the video finishes. Okay, so enough of that shameless plug. Now back to this. And yeah, it's firmed up. It's still a little bit soft, but you're better off getting it out after about sort of 6-7 hours. Just because obviously you want the other side to dry. So it's a case of just easing it out, being careful not to obviously rip it out. And yeah, it should come out reasonably well. I say this is still quite soft because it hasn't been in here that long, but it does dry easier and quicker if you can sort of pull it out and then obviously let this top bit get some air. But as you can see, the definition really has come out very well. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how sprue goo can be used to cast a variety of items. And I say, this is pretty impressive stuff from something that's normally thrown in a bin or left in a cupboard. And the great thing with these tiles is they can easily be trimmed off just to get the edges nice and square. You can rather use a Stanley knife, a blade of any kind, or if you prefer, you can even use good old standard scissors. Awesome! So now we have the blue stuff mould, we can make multiple casts. And the great thing is the acetone in the sprues doesn't seem to damage or affect the moulds in any way, which is awesome. And again, the fact that you can just reheat these moulds and then use them to mould something else, it's just amazing. So yeah, well worth buying this sort of stuff. And now we have loads of tiles, we can get on to painting them. But one thing I will mention though guys, once these are sort of made, don't leave them face down. That's what I did on this one, and it wasn't fully dried. So it was left down on a flat surface, and as you can see, it kind of, well, flattened out a lot of the definition. So this is obviously one that I left upright, and yeah, I say I'm pretty pleased with the amount of definition that's in this compared to obviously the flattened one. As mentioned earlier, I've kept the painting of these fairly simple, so basically just sort of a black undercoat, and then I'm going over the top with a copper sort of colour, obviously use whatever colour you want, and I'm just going to do a bit of dry brushing, just so these things do still remain nice and dark and black, and obviously just add to the effect of how they're meant to look. So yeah, get the old paint you want to use if you're dry brushing, get it on the brush. Obviously I'm using these cheap makeup brushes, which are pretty cool, and then it is a case of obviously getting rid of most of it, because obviously that's why it's called dry brushing, because there's not a lot left and it's nice and dry. So yeah, get your piece and basically just, yeah, go over the whole thing. Again, another reason why I like doing this sort of technique, it is very quick, very easy, and because you're not putting a lot of paint on, they obviously dry really quickly as well, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, just sort of go over it a few times until you got the right sort of amount, and yeah, there you go, one sort of dystopian looking floor tile ready to be put with obviously all the others and any other Necromunda sort of terrain pieces you might have. And then you can just repeat the process, well, for all the other tiles. Okay guys, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and obviously the nice and easy quick way of making some floor tiles, and the fact we're reusing something that we normally throw away. And again, the old blue stuff Oyumaru is definitely worth getting, again, because you can make these sort of things and then reuse this to sort of cast or mould other bits and pieces. So yeah, certainly worth the use. And yeah guys, don't forget, sprues, awesome things. If you've got them, don't throw them away, keep them, make things, or if you want, send them in to me and I'll happily turn them into something awesome. If you have any ideas or suggestions that you'd like to see me make with some sprues, by all means leave them in the comments. I do like to try out new things and obviously make new things. So yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys have got or what you'd like me to make from sprues in the future. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that and you found that informative. If you want to help out the channel, become a patron like these guys here. There's a link obviously coming up in a second, but there's a link down in the description on how to become a patron. And I say support the channel. And obviously thank you to all these sponsors down here who again help support the channel. If you are new here and you like what I do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell as I do produce videos every week. If you have any questions about sprues, sprue goo, or basically anything I make on this channel, leave them down below, as I like to know what you think about what I make and what I do. As I say, any questions at all, I will certainly answer them. Even if you just want to say hi, put hi in the chat and I'll say hi back. There's a couple more videos on my channel, give these a little click, see more of what I do. Don't forget, subscribe here, Patreon there. Okay guys, that's it. Bye for now.